What up, Internet? It's Kerry Vishwanathan here, and we got a great episode for you folks. We got books, we got knowledge, we got 6 books on filmmaking that I would love to recommend to you all. I'm gonna hold them up like this, like cards. Look at this knowledge, woo, all of it. I'm not being sponsored by any of these authors, I just love these books, so if any of you authors do come across these books, I hope that you enjoy these videos because I have nothing but praise for all of you. If you're a director and you have a little bit of trouble communicating with actors, I highly recommend this book. It's called Directing Actors by Judith Weston. If your interpersonal skills aren't very good with actors, it's a great book that covers the process of directors collaborating with actors, including rehearsals, script analysis, interpreting a scene. It'll help you get into the perspective of an actor's working process so that you, the director, will know and understand what tools an actor needs to give a great performance. I guarantee you're going to see some vast improvement once you read this book. My next recommendation is called I'll Be in My Trailer. Ironically, also about the collaboration of directors and actors, but it's actually about the conflicts that can arise on set. This book provides fantastic pearls of wisdom and tidbits from actors and directors, including stories from the set, how to resolve conflict, how to make an actor comfortable, again, more tips about how to bring the best performance out of your talent. This is a pretty good book to prepare you for any such occasions. Hopefully you'll make the right choices and you'll cast well and you'll get along with your actors, so I hope that it doesn't come to this and you have a good shoot. My next book is called On Writing by Stephen King. This is a fantastic book on the writing process. It's not a book about screenwriting, but I think on the whole, it's just a fantastic book about writing in general and about how to find a productive and stress-free way of writing anything and just finding the process that works for you. He also has a really interesting chapter on quoting other writers, and he'll break down what makes good prose. He'll talk about certain words that elicit a reaction from the reader. There's a really interesting chapter where he shows you the first draft of one of his short stories, and then he shows all of the proofread corrections. You're basically getting a glimpse of his editing process, how he's improving on the prose and how he's just being economical with his words and his phrases and just making the descriptions tighter. It just blows my mind. I'm like, wow, this guy is just, he has the courage to actually share his like rough drafts with everybody. I would not share my rough draft. You'd probably like, your eyes would probably explode and your brain would probably be like, ugh, kill me, this is the worst thing ever. Ugh. My next recommendation is a book by Sidney Lumet called Making Movies. Now, if you don't know Sidney Lumet, he is a master filmmaker. I highly recommend you rent or Netflix Dog Day Afternoon, Serpico, The Verdict, Network, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. I'm leaving out so many other movies. He basically covers every department of filmmaking, ranging from rehearsals to working with actors to cinematography, editing, sound mixing, art direction, music. When you read chapters on any of these departments, he always talks about the creative choices he made behind what lens to use, what he looks for in a performance, why he chose a specific style of editing for a movie, use of music, use of sound. Also, he's known as one of the greatest director of actors ever. If you watch his films, you'll see some amazing performances. By the time you finish this book, you'll have a much stronger sense of what it takes to make a movie. The 5th book I want to recommend is In the Blink of an Eye by Walter Murch. If you don't know who Walter Murch is, he is quite possibly one of the greatest editors in cinema. He's edited movies such as Godfather Part 2, The Conversation, Apocalypse Now, The Talented Mr. Ripley, so many classic movies, so many great movies. And he has a lot of insight into the editing process. He has a very philosophical way of describing and explaining how cuts affect the conscious and the subconscious. And, you know, when we're watching a movie, he talks about where our eyes gravitate toward, or he'll talk about how we retain information depending on what 2 images are juxtaposing together. Just a really interesting read. It's so good. It's making me geek out on the inside just talking about it. It's so good. The last book I would like to recommend is pretty much just any book, because I think as a filmmaker, it is important that you read books, and you should read as often as you can. Pretty much just any book you want. Read memoirs, read self-help books, read literature, just read anything really, because reading will help expand your mind. It'll improve your storytelling, it'll improve your vocabulary, it'll improve your sense of what makes a story. It'll help you come up with original ideas for stories. Yes, you can always adapt a book into a movie, but I think reading also helps fuel that part of your brain where you can come up with great stories. And I think that's really important for filmmakers and artists in general. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I love comments. I would love to hear your suggestions on what you want me to talk about. Happy reading, happy filmmaking, and I will see you on the laters. I just made that up. It sounds corny, but I don't care. Peace!